Today we're gonna be doing a boneless pork tenderloin. It's a super easy recipe. It just requires very minimal ingredients. I do it kind of Cuban style. There's plenty of ways to do it, but for me, this is always what I've used. Pretty super easy. Of course, you just need your Instant Pot. You are gonna need your trivet. I'm using 2 1-pound pork tenderloin. I left them marinating overnight in the Chef Merito Mojo Marinade. You don't have to marinate. I just marinate always my meat the night before. So I got sous chef number 1 and sous chef number 2 with me because neither of them want to do anything other than be here. And I need to get this done because I don't have time later on to do it. So very quickly, I already marinated, I already put my rub on one of the pork tenderloins. And then I'm gonna show you how I do the other pork tenderloin. So they are on the large side. This is one, they're about 1 1/4 pounds. The first thing I do, and this can be any order, doesn't matter, but I'm gonna put a little bit of cumin on both sides. And I'm not giving you any measurements because it just really depends on how salty or how peppery, or I just kind of just drizzle it on there, kind of like a rub. So cumin, thank you, Haley. Some dried parsley flakes on both sides. Okay. Also some Chef Merito garlic salt. I always have this. I always have this in my pantry. Like it's like my go-to. So I put the garlic salt on there, and I'm also using the Chef Merito lemon pepper. So literally all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just place it inside my pot with the trivet. I have 2 in there right now, so I just basically line them up and curve them around. I'm also tossing in some, sorry guys. You want yellow? Okay, hold on. Here. And here's green. Don't open it. I'm also tossing in some petite potatoes, like 5 or 6 right in the middle. So I can cook with the pork tenderloin as a side. So at this point, I have about a cup of marinade from the Mojo Marinade. You can use water, but if you have marinade, you might as well use it. And you just dump it inside the Instant Pot. Just make sure there's at least a cup. I don't think there was a cup there, so I'm gonna add about a 1/4 cup more of water. So I added my 1/4 cup of water. If you like, the potatoes are not, sorry, Haley, please cállate. If you like, the potatoes are not, I didn't dress them in anything, but you can dress them just in garlic salt later on, which is what I'm gonna do now. So I'm just gonna do it, dress them a little bit in garlic salt, and you're good to go. All right, so now I got my marinade, I got my 2 pork tenderloins and my potatoes in there. You can obviously see how I put that in there. Just make sure you have at least a cup of liquid on the bottom to build up pressure. Now, very tricky part. Not tricky, not at all. I don't know why I said that. But if you do want, like I just do a 7-minute high pressure. If it's frozen, because you can't do it from frozen state, you put it on for 10 minutes. So make sure you go ahead and close your Instant Pot, put the vent to seal, okay? You're gonna put it on pressure cook on high for 7 minutes. So once that's done, you're gonna let it natural release. You're gonna let all the air out, go naturally. So you're not gonna touch the valve. It's gonna do it. It's gonna release the air on its own. All right, my Instant Pot beeped about 11 minutes ago, and it's already released all the steam. So I'm gonna go ahead and open it. Let's see if I can get you guys in the picture. Perfect. I got my potatoes, which are perfectly cooked, and it looks like my pork tenderloin is also very cooked. But just in case, I always take a cut out of it. Cooking times may vary depending on the thickness of your tenderloin. So if you have a big one, obviously cooking time is going to be a little bit more than 7 minutes. But you can always start off with 7 minutes, cut a piece somewhere down the middle, and see if you need to add more. So that's always an easy hint. So I cut down the middle, completely cooked. I don't like to overcook it just because it gets tough. So the more tender and juicy it is, the better. So I do leave it in the pot. This is what it looks like. Yum. I do tend to leave it in the pot until it's time to cook because I like to let it just sit in its juices. So I am going to take out the trivet from the bottom and just drop the pork and the potatoes into the pot itself and leave it on the warm setting. So that way when it's time for dinner, it's still soaking in all that juice that it actually, the mojo juice that I had before and its own juices. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. I'm gonna take out the trivet and you'll guys see a picture on my post later.